Let's begin on our hands and knees. So find your way to a tabletop position, shoulders above wrists, hips above knees. Toes can be untucked or tucked, whatever feels more comfortable. Take an inhale, lift through the heart, lift the tailbone. Reach your chest forward, let your shoulders glide down your back, shoulder blades hug together. Exhale, scoop the belly around your spine as you push the ground away with your hands. Spread the shoulder blades apart, drop your chin to your chest. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, round. Take about 4 more, following your breath. Feel free to add any movement, such as wiggling the hips around, circling through the spine. Finding your way back to center, step or place your right foot forward between your hands. Press the hips forward, lift through the heart, reach up through the crown of your head, finding a low lunge. If the ground is feeling far away here, place blocks under your hands. You can even just place your hands on your thighs. Think about hugging your right hip back as your left hip reaches forward. And then walk yourself back to a half split. Maybe taking the blocks with you if you're using them. You can extend the right leg or keep a bend in it, but keep pulling your right hip back. Heart is reaching forward, spine is lengthened. Maybe the hands come up to your hips and then draw your right toes back toward your shin. Let's do that one more time. From a lunge to a half split. Draw the belly in. Walk it back, half split. Now come forward to your lunge, find your way to lizard pose. So take your right hand to the inside of the right foot, heel toe your foot to the outer edge of your mat, and then turn your toes out about 45 degrees just to give the hip a little more room to open. Now, once again, if the floor is not within reach, use blocks or something else. Let the hips shift a little bit from right to left. Keep lifting through the heart. If it's available, you can always drop down to your forearms, whether that's on blocks or all the way down to the floor. Maybe wing onto the outer edge of the right foot. Try to keep your head lifted, letting it continue to be an extension of your spine. If you're on your forearms, press back up to your hands. Now drop your weight over into the left hip just to get a little added length along the outside of the left hip. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Breathe. Maybe even press this left hip forward. See if that enhances this stretch for you. Relax. Take your right hand to your right thigh. Press into the palm. Twist over the right shoulder. Unwind, hands come back to the mat. Curl your left foot in, curling it in toward your glute, and then press the hips forward. Think about really pressing through that left thigh. Lift through the heart. Nice stretch for the quad. And then release it down. Carefully unwind. We'll switch sides. Right knee back, left foot forward. Start with your foot between your hands. Although if the hips are really tight, you can go ahead and take the foot wider. Drop the hips forward, but don't collapse all the way down. Still keep the abs drawing in, heart is lifting. You've still got some engagement here, protecting the joints. Feel free to keep your hands on the ground, to blocks, or even up to the thigh. Start to walk yourself back to your half split. Left leg lengthens or it stays bent. That's totally up to you. Draw the toes back. Either way, try to lengthen through your spine. Hinge forward, hips go back. Breathe. Once more in each position, come forward to your lunge. And back to your half split. Left hip tugs back. Now come forward to your lunge. Take both hands to the inside of the left foot. Heel to the foot out wide. Toes turn out. Maybe lengthen your right knee back. Drop the hips forward. Lift through the heart. You can rock the hips a little from side to side. If it's available, maybe you drop down to your forearms or stay upright. Keep the head lifted. If you're on your forearms, make your way up to your hands and then kind of roll onto the outside of the right hip. Press the hip forward, just seeing if that adds a stretch for the outer right hip. Keep lifting up through the right side of the chest, lengthen through the spine. And then relax that. Take your left hand to your thigh, press into the thigh, twist over the shoulder. Unwind, curl the right foot into the glute, drop the hips forward, press through the right thigh, lift through your heart. Release the foot down, carefully release, stepping your left knee back beside the right. Now, step your right knee forward so your legs are in one line. Take your right foot to the outside of the left leg. Swing the left foot over around so your feet are on opposite edges of the mat. Slowly start to walk yourself back, trying to land on both sits bones, coming into Cowface pose. Now, if this is just not happening, you can also come into this by starting in a seated position, having one leg curled underneath you. Take the top one, cross it over just to the extent that you're comfortable. And if that's just right here, maybe you focus on hip mobility here, then that's great. If you can, try to stack the knees or move toward that. Maybe you're here. Feet go wide. You can keep your hands on your knees. You can take your hands to your feet, gently press into them. And then if you still need more of a stretch, hinge forward. Try to keep the hips down though. And if your right hip is lifting, maybe place a block or a cushion underneath it. Lengthen up through your spine. Wherever you are with the right leg, turn your shoulders to the right, find a twist. You can use this right leg as leverage to help you twist a little more. And then unwind. Now to switch sides, you can either rock back, uncross, recross the legs, or if it's okay on the knees, rock forward, uncross there, and then switch. So left knee will come forward, Feet to opposite edges of your mat. Left knee is stacked on top of the right. Take your time, slowly lowering yourself down. Make any adjustments that you need to. And if you need more, hinge forward. Either way, notice where you're feeling tightness. See if you can breathe into those spaces, seeing where you can soften. Carefully lengthen up if you folded. Turn your shoulders to the left, finding a twist. Unwind, go ahead and rock back, uncross the legs, legs come in front of you. You can shake the knees out. Now, I'm going to turn and face the long edge of the mat. Right leg is extended out at about 2 o'clock, left foot is curled in. Right hand to the right leg, left arm reaches up, side bend over. Try to spin the left chest open. If this bothers your neck, just turn your gaze down. Inhale, come back up. Now adjust your hips and your torso, turning a little bit more directly over this right leg. Slight bend in the knee. Inhale, lengthen up through your spine. Exhale, lead with your heart, fold over. Now you can keep a bend in your knee, or as long as you can keep the lower back lengthened, maybe you extend the leg out. Fold here. Lift up halfway, bend the knee once again, step your right hand over to the side, left hand to the outside of the right leg, bend the elbow, draw your torso down to the right, and keep your left hip grounded. Should be feeling this in the left lower back. And then come up, let's switch sides. Right leg will curl in, left leg goes out, starting with a side stretch. Right arm sweeps up and over, spin the right chest open. Inhale, come back up, adjust your hips, turn your torso, start with a bent knee. Inhale, find a length. Exhale, try to keep this length as you reach out and over, fold, maybe straightening the leg. Lift up halfway, left hand steps over to the side, right hand comes to any part of the outside of the left leg, bend the elbow, draw the torso down. Bring yourself up. Release the left leg. Find a comfortable seat. We'll finish with one breath in together. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale all the way out. And that is it for today. Great job. We'll see you next time.